Okay, got you in my pickup. We'll have to see what kind of video this puts out. It looks like it's kind of low, or high, but I think it'll be all right. We're on my way to the shop. Get you to the shop, I can set you on tripod. Get some parts cleaned up. Maybe I can get enough video where you can see me sandblast or get glass beating, not sandblasting. It looks like sand, but it's glass beating. It'll be noisy. But get some glass beating done. Damn traffic out on this highway anymore is unreal. Get out here and get some glass beating done. Get these parts cleaned up. And get back to the house. And put that steering knuckle on. Put the drag link back on. Hopefully you can hear me over the noise. I have to run with the window open because my AC's not working in this truck right now. I've tried everything. I've checked every freaking fuse that goes to the AC. I can bypass it and it works just fine. But if I turn it on, it doesn't do anything. I mean, it's on right now and I'm not feeling anything. So I don't know what's going on with it. I don't drive this truck much, so I'm not in any hurry to figure out what's wrong with it. You know, it's cool enough right now where I don't really need it. So anyway, hopefully this mount doesn't bounce around in here like it did in my Honda. It's pretty bad in my Honda. Of course, it'll be back in the Honda before long, and maybe not. I may hang my phone back in the Honda once I get it running again. It's going to cost me, I don't know, probably just under $1,000 to get it going. I can get decent motors, I hope, on eBay for about $500 shipped. So that's, you know, of course, every freaking Honda car from say 1998 to 2007 had that very same freaking motor, that same 4-cylinder in it. You know, they made a few changes to it, but not much. And they'll all interchange. You can take parts off one, put on the other. So, but they got a bad habit of the block warping or the head warping. And once that happens, you really can't do nothing but replace them. And unless you find one wrecked. Okay, hang on a second. I gotta abide by the law here, so y'all quit hearing that noise. But all right, if you don't find one in the junkyard that's been totaled, you know, and the motor's still in it, or it's an insurance claim where it's been wrecked but not bad, then it's probably got the same exact problem. The block is warped, or the transmission is warped. The block is warped, or the head is warped, and it's sucking water down into the cylinders. But you know, other than that, you can get them online, guaranteed, for $500. But you know, you got to have it. You got like 6 weeks to get it in and running to figure out what's wrong with it, and then if it's bad, you can ship it back. But you know, I don't want to ship nothing back. I want it to come working the first time. So we'll see about that. I'm gonna stop here and go in and get me something to drink, and I'll be right back. I'm gonna leave you going for a minute. All right, give me just a few minutes. Talk to you later. Man, it's actually pretty warm in this truck. I could probably do without the jacket inside the vehicle, but you know, I probably will with inside my shop. Got me a OG Dr. Pepper made with real pure cane sugar. Best Dr. Pepper on the market right now. They used to make them in Dublin. I don't think they do. I think they make them in Abilene now, but Dublin Dr. Pepper is old school Dr. Pepper. It's where the original Dr. Pepper plant was. And they make a good Dr. Pepper. I remember we had a canning plant here, and they canned, you know, Coca-Cola, Dr. Pepper. Here in the South, in Texas, Coca-Cola, oh crap, hang on. Gotta abide by the law again. Here in Texas, Dr. Pepper, Coca-Cola, 7-Up, you know, Sprite, all them guys are canned by the same company. Pepsi is the outsider. You know, up north, where you can get Dr. Pepper, it's canned by Pepsi. I can't figure that shit out, but down here, if you see a Coke machine, it's got Dr. Pepper in it. We do have Mr. Pibb. You know, everybody says it tastes the same. No, it don't. Mr. Pibb, a Dr. Pepper. I used to be okay with Mr. Pibb. I can't hardly drink the shit now. You know, it's Dr. Pepper is what I drink. It's what I've always drank. You know, I quit for a while and started drinking Coke, but Just couldn't handle it. But pull in the shop here in a minute. Gotta unlock my gate. Pull inside, then unlock my doors. And get all the parts out. All that crap, you know the drill. Oh, that's good. But anyway, I can tell you where I'm at. I'm in Plainview, Texas. Rent me a little shop over here. Ooh, that's hot. Got me a little shop over here. Kinda in downtown. It's behind an old transmission shop. One of these days I'm gonna try to rent this old transmission shop if I can. I'm sure he wants $1,200 or more a month. It's got 5 or 6 stalls in it, I'm not sure. It's got lifts and everything. You know, the guy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stalls. And I believe they all have lifts. If I was to get it, I would have to, you know, probably remove some of the lifts or one of the 2 of the lifts. You know, if it came to it, I'd buy the place. You know, it's got a storage barn behind it and everything, you know, to store stuff in. So I would love to have the place, but you know, until I make more money than what I'm making now, or I get famous on here and start making a little bit of money on here, that's out of the question. So give me a second and I'll be right back. Looks like my security light's fixing to go out. Well, no, maybe it's just the bulbs. They're flashing intermittently, or I don't know how you'd say it. They look like they're flashing a little bit. They're LED bulbs. They're not real bright in the first place. They flash pretty bad. I've never seen them flash like that. I guess we'll have to see when we come out here tonight, because I'll be out here for most of the day, and then I guess I'm gonna take my wife to eat tonight, and then I'll be back this afternoon. I guess I'll leave them keys there. Take you with me. So we can go in the shop together. You can watch what I'm doing. Shut up. We'll go off for 15 minutes. I got this truck. I had to redo all the wires inside. Some of the stuff works, some of it don't. It was a gas meter or electric meter reader's truck. And the kick panel, the whole kick panel behind it was covered up with dirt, dust, and all that crap. My door's being a pain in the ass. What in the world? But my shop's kind of a mess. I got some videos where me and my son built that pen, and it's I've got, you know, some videos of him welded. I don't really have any videos of us putting it together or anything. I should have, but I've got all this crap in here. I kept getting robbed. Well, that ain't gonna work. I kept getting robbed, and I put a big old, they come up and they cut the lock off the door, and then I bought this lock, and you can see right there where they tried to cut it, but if you look at that, that's almost the size of my finger, and you can see where they tried to cut on it and it didn't work, and so they gave up on that, and they came over here and they just cut a hole in my wall right down there. Cut a hole in the wall, pulled everything out. Looks like somebody's tried to be in there again. That's not good. I don't think they have, but no, same old cuts. Somebody got in there. And looked in there to see what there was, and noticed there was a bunch of shit piled in front of the door. Why? Because I got robbed 4 fucking times in 2 months. Cops didn't do a fucking thing about it. And anyway, they ran off with I'd say about $5,000 worth of tools. It's gonna take that thing about 15 minutes to build up. Once it builds up, I'll get in there and we'll start dealing with stuff. But I don't buy the expensive tools. I've got a lot of Harbor Freight stuff, you know. It's just me. I don't do any work for anybody, so I don't need anything heavy duty. And you know, I do some outside work for people, you know, people that I know. But you know, I don't deal with the when people want to bring shit back to me. Well, you messed this up, you messed this up. No, I didn't mess that up. You know, it's just I'm not into dealing with all that crap anymore. I've got a trailer plug in here I need to rebuild, and you don't see these things anymore. These smaller ones like this, especially one with 6 holes in it. You see a 5-hole one and a 4-hole one, but not a 6-hole one. And that one operate, that it has the plug for operating all the power brakes. And why, I don't know. It's got that, you know, it's got the hydraulic brake. I guess it's got a hydraulic brake on one axle and then the electric brakes on the other axle. I guess that's how it's working. But yeah, they both have brakes. So I figure that's probably what it is. But I've got a couple of tractors in here that I need to get sorted out. I've got an old Craftsman that it actually starts and runs and works, but it's got some issues with it. It's got a lot of miles on it. It's kind of old, but you know, it'd do everything I want it to do. It's a good heavy-duty tractor. They used them in as garden tractors. You know, it's got a place to put a lift for plows and everything, and it's got a really heavy-duty rear axle in it. And then I've got this one right here. It's got a 16 horsepower cast iron Briggs & Stratton engine on it. I was doing some videos on it. You know, it's got that big Briggs & Stratton cast iron motor on it. And I've got a carburetor kit for it and some other stuff. It had a 12 horse on it, and it looks like it you know, broke the rod. I could probably get parts for it and fix it, but not really into that right now. So I've got another one just like this at the house, but it's got a 9 horse in it. It's old tractor. These tractors were built in the 50s and 60s, and you still see a lot of them running today. But there's something else. Okay, let me find something to clean that off. I don't know if you're going to be able to see anything through that. Man, that's nasty. Wow. Gets dusty up here. Like I said, I don't know how to tell you enough. It's West Texas. Everything gets nasty. Yeah. And then this is made out of plexiglass, I guess, and it just keeps sticking back to it. I guess some window cleaner would do some good, but I don't have any of that. You can't just put anything on it. Man, I don't know if I can even see down in there. Does the light still come on? No, it's not plugged in. Hang on just a second. This place, like I said, everything I own is a fucking mess. And that's changing this year. Actually, it's changing this summer. Because I'm tired of doing for people and doing for people and doing for people and nobody's doing for me. So, you know, I'm gonna start doing for me since nobody else will. And I'm gonna take care of me. And that's all there is to it. People can get as mad as they want to. This is a Harbor Freight bead blasting cabinet. Yeah, it's pretty nasty. I'm gonna set that down there. Maybe you can see what I'm doing. If you can't, I'll cut it out, but I'm gonna try to leave it there. I can't figure out why that's so nasty and it won't come off. Man, it's driving me nuts. I guess I might start paying more attention to it in here. A lot of that's inside too, so. Yeah, you can see a little better down in there now. Got my gloves here, going from the outside. I don't have a bunch of glass bead left in there. It's got a leak in it. It all blows out. So anyway, let me get this hooked up and I'll start bead blasting and I guess we'll go to town from there. And let me see, I don't have my air open. Crap. Sorry, got y'all flying all over the shop. It's gonna get noisy here in a minute anyway, so. Well, I guess it is open. Get my parts in here and let y'all watch me bead blast. I'll take this shaft in here, just set it in here by this other axle I have. This other axle has got everything with it. It's a 6-bolt hub, but if y'all didn't know, on the old school GMs, the square bodies with the solid axle across the front, it doesn't matter what you have, 3/4 ton, half ton, 6 hub, 8 hub, 8 hole hub, 6 hole hub, they're both the same. And I learned this simply just by working on the damn things. 6-hole knuckle will fit on an 8-hole axle. 8-hole knuckle will fit on a 6-hole axle. It's all the same on Chevrolets. Now, I've had somebody tell me that you can actually exchange parts between some of the older Fords and Chevrolets as far as hubs go. The hubs stick out a little further or something, I can't remember, but you have to change the brake calipers and everything. So anyway, let's go ahead and get this shit started. I want to get this done, get back home without making too much of a mess of itself. It's going to take me a minute. I got to move some of my son's remote RC car parts out of the way, and then I'll get back to you. All right, I'm going to put you in the blasting cabinet. Put all my parts in here first. That way they're already in here. Everything I need but my nuts. And I don't want to drop, I don't know if they'll go through, but I don't want to find out. Looks like I'm good there. Get all this stuff in here where I can clean it up good and make it like new again. If you notice, this one right here has a nub on it. I'll show you later. Y'all probably can't see anything I'm doing. Watch them bolts, make sure they don't fall through. It's been a while since I used this blasting cabinet. If I remember, this thing gets a pretty good charge. If you look at that, there's a little nub that right there, little pin that you use to readjust that, or it's where this lock ring goes on top of it. And whenever you get it in there where you want it, you put that lock ring in it where it fits in that hole, and it puts it in your keyway right there. You can see that little keyway right there. Puts that keyway on that pin, and then it'll stay adjusted. That's what locks it in place. That way it doesn't tighten up on your bearings anymore. It don't take much to clean these up. Not much at all. This stuff sure sticks to that glass though, or that plastic. I don't know why. I'll tell you what, when you run that glass across your glove, it produces some electricity. And at times it'll light you up pretty good. That's gonna be as clean as I'm gonna get that. And set it right there. Now we get to go for this. And I'm trying not to electrify myself. Man, it kind of hurts sometimes. I mean, it don't take no time to clean it up. That stuff's moving through there pretty quick. Knock all that shit right off of it. Cleaned it right up. You know, it's not shiny like it was when I first took it out of there, but it's good enough. It'll work. It'll do what it's supposed to do without fail. place like that, I guess that's where they would have had a pin or something. I don't know how they put them in there. Oh yeah, I guess that pin's pressed in there. Okay, let that dirt die there, that sand die down for a minute, dust, whatever the hell it is. It's all cleaned up. Set that one aside, get the other one over here. Clean it up. Now if you look at it, it's smooth. It don't have a pin on it. It's pretty dirty. See how fast it cleans up. It gets where I can't see pretty quick. I have to let it settle down. I mean, as you can see, it's cleaning it up pretty good. Put you back in the middle there where maybe you can see a little better. Cleans it up. You can see where it went right by my finger. Right there. Knocks that stuff right off. I'm supposed to have this air pressure regulated, but I don't put out a whole lot of air pressure anyway. I mean, I do. I put out 130 pounds or 135 pounds or something like that. And threads are pretty clean already. Don't have to worry about cleaning them anymore. I can, but I don't really need to. It'll clean off while I'm doing this, I guess. It gets to where I can't hardly see in there. I'm blind as bad as it is. My old glasses pretty thick. Now this gear here, that's dirty. See how clean I can get that. What's causing all the dust, and I'm trying not to break this stuff. It's pretty unhealthy. What's causing all the dust is that glass bead is knocking all that rust off that part. I mean, I can taste it. The cabinet's not sealed real good. I let my nephew build the damn thing, and he half-assed it. I'm going to take it apart and put weather stripping all around the edges and stuff, and put it back together. Maybe I can seal it up. Then it's supposed to have a filter over here on the end. But I ain't got the money for stuff like that, so it don't have one yet. I'll get it. This video's getting pretty long, I know, but looks factory. Okay, I'm gonna let the dust die down a little bit. This stuff tastes bad. It's bad for your lung. It is glass, of course. So, you know, that'd be like getting silica sand in your lungs. Not great. My neighbor over here is a painter. He does body work. I do a little bit of body work myself. I need to do some body work on me. I do mechanic work. I've got this, let me see if I can get it in a picture. I've got this LS motor right here that we got to take the heads off of, do some work on the heads and put new gaskets on it. The intake's kind of fucked up. It's old, it's been out in the weather for a while. We'll take it apart, put new gaskets in it, and get it run, put it in a car. And then I got this little 305 down here. Let me see if I can get a little closer. You probably can't see it real well. It's just an old dirty 305 HO out of a Suburban. And it's the motor my son's wanting to put in his river truck. He's got two 350s, and he said, Dad, he said, I can put that in there until I get my other motor built. And he said, it'll be just fine until I get my other motor built. I said, that's fine, that's up to you. I said, it's got either a cracked head or what am I trying to say? Cracked head or a blown head gasket in it. It's getting water in the, or it's getting air or exhaust in the radiator. So I'm thinking probably a cracked head, but you would think, because usually when you have a blown head gasket, it gets water in the oil, and we're not getting water in the oil, so I'm pretty sure it's just a cracked head. It got really hot on me because I used to drive the Suburban, and it got really hot on me one time, and I pulled off the side of the road and put some water in it and I heard it. So I figured that was the head shrinking. These newer motors, the first gen, when they later, in the 80s when they were building them, they weren't putting as much nickel in them, so they didn't expand and contract as easy. They cracked easier. The heads cracked easier. The blocks cracked easier. If you had a hard freeze and you didn't have good antifreeze in it, they broke. It just all kinds of stuff happened, and it was a wreck. And then along came the LS, and I'm kind of late in the boat of doing LS swaps, but that's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm going to do an LS swap to Nova, and we'll see what comes of that, and then I'll see what else I can LS swap. I think what we're going to do though with the eBay race car that I'm thinking about doing, we're going to build a first gen motor for it right off the bat until we blow it up, or we'll use this 5.3. I believe it's 5.3. It's the one that's got 5.3 and 4.8 on the back of the block. I believe it may have 6.0 on the back of the block too. I don't think when this motor was built they had the 6.0. It's one of the very first ones that come out, 99 to 2002 in trucks. So we'll see when I get that flywheel off of it. We'll see what it actually is, but got to get the heads off first, and maybe not. If I can get it, no, I'm gonna pull the heads off. Got to pull the heads off. Got to find a good harness out of a 99 to 02 truck. My fitting on my blasting cabinet leaks a little bit, so it's making that compressor run a little more than it normally does. My nephew, I bought that thing and it would keep up with this blasting cabinet with no problem, and he come in here one day and ran it all day long, non-stop, grinding the paint off a car. So that ruined that. You know, it still keeps up with everything I got. Still holds good pressure, builds up pretty quick. It's not using the oil. The oil stays where it's at, but when he was breaking it in, he damn near running out of oil, so that may be a problem with it. That may be why it's so freaking noisy. But anyway, everything's died down in here, so I'm gonna start feed blasting again. I'll put you back down to it, and hopefully y'all are seeing this. All right. My gloves have a little bit of sand in them. Hell, the gloves even leak somewhere. I'm not sure where. I guess around these seams right here, but I don't know why. Let me take that nut off of there. It just kind of started on there. Oh, it's full of crap too. Clean that up real good. Yeah, you can feel it picking that shit up off the bottom. And I had to go stir that up, didn't I? That nut is pretty dirty. Pretty dang dirty. It's cleaning up nice though. I can't see shit. Can't see nothing. Let it die down a little bit again. Man, can't believe bad that is. Boy. That looks okay. This other knot off the bottom kingpin. Ball joint. Probably should be wearing gloves inside these gloves. Feels like they're full of shards of glass. Okay, see if you're still recording. Let that die down again. Yep, we're still recording. It's bad. I gotta do the face of that steering knuckle where the spindle for the hub bolts to it. And I think my spindle's okay. If not, I'll take this one off this axle I have in the shop and just put it on there. But like I said, all that shit's the same. It all works just exactly the same. Got all the parts to that axle. I've got yeah, there it is. Got the drag link over there on the wall. I can't see the bolts for it. I hope they're here somewhere. Probably in the floor or in the trash, I'm sure. My son comes in here, he leaves the fucking place a mess, and then when he cleans up, he just throws everything away. But Let that dust die down a little bit and I'll get back to it, and it shouldn't take long. In fact, let me look, because I'm trying to make this video a little short. It's already been 45 minutes. It's gonna take forever to fucking upload this. All right, we're pretty clear. Here you go. Okay, let's get all this out of the blasting cabinet. And let you see it outside. Try not to breathe that stuff any more than I have to. Still a few things I forgot to do. I might have to close it back down and get them. Oh, maybe. That's not bad. Look at that. It cleaned up pretty good. Cleaned up the bolt threads. That's clean for the most part. It'll do what I need it to do. Set that off to the side. I got a couple of things in here I still need to clean. I got some I've got some the brake caliper bolts I got to clean, and some lug nuts. There's like 4 lug nuts in there I got to get cleaned up. I'm gonna go ahead and turn y'all off, and I'll start another video when I get home. We'll see you in a little bit.